Leia.
Colleen, Team Sparkle Productions.
And today we wanted to talk a little bit about why and how running should be fun and why that's a really important part of what we do. And one of the reasons this came up is because somebody recently was talking to us and was like, well, it doesn't really look like you guys ever have bad runs. Obviously, it just is really easy for you, and, you know, we never see you having a hard time.
I wish.
Well, first of all, I am so glad that we make it look that much fun. So let's just start
Effortless
with
and
that.
easy.
Totally.
No, we have bad runs. We have terrible runs. We have runs. I have had a run where I've gone out and been like, I literally
Just a
can't
quarter
even run a mile.
and you just go back home.
Whatever, yeah. Everybody has them. So let's not fool ourselves.
No.
We accept that every run isn't going to be amazing. Everyone isn't going to feel like, you know, that magic flying thing that, you know, is so awesome when it does happen. So we just don't dwell on it.
I mean, at least I did get outside, and sometimes it really is just like, that sucked, and you go home and you just move on with your day.
We don't, you know, whine about it. Maybe occasionally to each other, like, well, that was a shitty ass run. But I think that's the important thing is that not to dwell on it and not to make it the reality all of a sudden, because then it will continue to be like that.
And it is okay if you need to just be like, man, I just need to say today totally sucked. But if that becomes this piece that you find yourself constantly like, this run sucked and this run sucked and I'm not fast enough and this wasn't good enough and I wasn't strong enough and it was hot, then we know that something else is going on.
Exactly.
And good, just good.
Yeah. You know, that's, hey, I got through it. You know, I felt okay when I got done. I felt, you know, decent during it and everything.
Not it had to be so perfect and oh my gosh, that was the best run I've ever had, but just, did you have fun? Was it mostly fun?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what we're going for.
If you get to that point where the majority of your runs, 50% of your runs, you are thinking that more runs are not good than others, and maybe it's physically you don't feel good, that you don't feel strong, you don't even feel right, you're struggling through it physically, or mentally you just can't get into it, it's just not there.
And there's a difference between physically like, oh, I'm building up mileage and I'm getting kind of tired, and like, oh my gosh, this is a slog. I can't breathe. I can't move.
My muscles ache. I am exhausted 2 miles in and I shouldn't be. More often than not, it's like that. That's when there's a problem.
Are you overtraining?
Yep.
Are you in a stressful place in your life? Are you just struggling to find the positives in things?
Right. Maybe your training is just too much for where you're at right now. Or, I mean, and one of the things that we really forget, which is super important, is the things that go on in our day-to-day life, our families, our jobs, our money situations, that if there is problems there, that directly will change your physical health. And so that can absolutely be it. It might be that your training is perfect for you, it's right for you, but you're having such major things going on in the other parts of your life, it will physically change what's going on here.
And so especially if you're hitting a point where you're like, man, I'm not sure if I'm having fun right now, that's when it's good to start doing kinds of check-ins, even with yourself. Maybe that's when you start keeping a running journal or taking notes, whether it's, we know people that like to take notes on Strava, so they've got a little journal to look back on. I've even had the kind of runs where I'm like, this was really bad. Have I been complaining about running a lot? Because I feel like that was really, she's like, no. I'm like, okay, it was one bad run. Okay,
just one bad
right.
run, yeah. Now, maybe you need to change it up. Maybe, you know, if you're strictly a road runner, maybe it's time to, you know, jump on the trails a little bit.
Jump on the trails a little bit.
You know, if you're a trail runner, maybe it's time to start running for a little bit more fun, or even try a short, fast road distance, just to switch it up a little bit.
Find some fun in what you're doing.
Exactly.
And for us, that's really the most important part, more than anything else that we get out of coaching and running. If it's not enjoyable, there's just no point.
Exactly.
And don't forget that it's the holidays, so we should definitely be enjoying the holidays as well.
And eating some cookies. Uncle Eddie's vegan oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. They're amazing. And they may be vegan, but they're not healthy. They're not.
Oh, good cookie.
It's so good. It's so soft.
I know.